Hi everyone. I think before I going to start my sharing, let me ask a question for you guys, but no need to reply me. What is your first impressions on death? Recently, I randomly interviewed some people in Hong Kong about their own impressions about death. Of course, I have get many kind of answers. And some of the answers is quite catching my eyes. The first one is forgotten, second one is taboos. The third one is suicide. So, who am I? Why I'm standing on the stage today to talk about death? I'm Matthew. I have been working in the death care industry for almost 10 years, from a mortuary attendant to a funeral director, from witness to advocate. Around these 10 years, I've been serving many thousand kinds of death and advocate of different kinds of death phenomena in Hong Kong. So, what about the death in Hong Kong? As we know, Hong Kong is a mature city full of development, and we have a great death care, grief support, palliative service, and medical or hospital care. But unfortunately, they're mostly catered to the majority people, or so-called, we call it like normal people in Hong Kong or in the world. But today, I mainly want to share about to you, how about the people beyond the majority or the normal? Did we see them, or did we notice them, or did we find them as need for help? Death is not a one-dimension thing or phenomenon in every city or in every life, in every culture, but it has its own dimensions of many kind of phases. Sometimes we didn't make it in our conversation. We forgot them. Even if we talk to the normal people, so-called normal people, and they will like having a usual face to us. But I want to tell you, as a mature city, when we're chasing of different kind of value, like diverse, equal, justice, or dignity, but mostly catered to the people who are living. But how about the dead people? Did we realize them? Especially those people who are unseen, unknown, or we meet them every day, but we ignore them. So today, my mission to everyone is trying to convince you to bring back them to our daily conversation or daily thought. So you may ask me, hey Matthew, I know that it's a very meaningful topic or issues we should make it a serious thought or discussion, but I can't figure it out what kind of people they are. Of course, we can say any people is abnormal, but I need to emphasize no people is abnormal. Everyone is our member of our community. And today, I will give you two very exact examples to you. The first one is disappear from the society. And the second one is disappear from our family. According to the government reports and some news agency news, annually we have like 200 dead bodies we bury in a public cemetery in Hong Kong called Sandal Hill Cemetery. What is Sandal Hill Cemetery? It is a cemetery bury those bodies didn't collected by any family or uncertain, unknown. Some of them may have family, but I can totally tell you they didn't have funeral. And some of them, they bury as no name. I remember last 2 years, I have received a referral by To Kwa Wan citizen. Any people live in To Kwa Wan here? Okay, maybe not, but I received a case. As some kind-hearted citizen, they gave me a referral, which is the people died in To Kwa Wan. But who is he? Everyone say they didn't actually don't know him, but they do have memorized on him. Mr. White is a very famous homeless people in To Kwa Wan, who is famous on making some very cute, beautiful handcraft to the children. And like few generation, 2 to 3 generation people well knowing him. At least he lived in To Kwa Wan for 40 years. But somehow, someday, he died. But no one knows he died until the police announced the notice about finding his family, and some people realize, oh, he's gone. And then the citizen contacted me immediately, and me and my colleagues my volunteers, those good-hearted citizens trying to rebuild his identity with many hints. But of course, we can't, because we can't find any important hints on this case. And finally, Mr. White was buried in Sandal Hill Cemetery as no name. But I need to give thanks to government since he gave us exception. We can still make a little small mourning ceremony and the public mortuary. But I can tell you, Mr. White is not the only one in Hong Kong facing this kind of issues. Some of them may be handled by NGO, government, or government department, but many of them die with unknown, no name, or even they didn't have family or friends who will pick them up. Sometimes, if we going back to home after work, we may see some people who are sleeping on the street, or your neighborhood is a very elderly, old elderly living alone. But we walk past them, and someday they will be disappear and silently. So why it is matter? Homeless people, as the other people, is one of our members in our community. When we are chasing those precious values, like I mentioned before, but how come we just ignore those people who are facing inequality and their dignity of death? And we just ignore them, or even we are not offering help to them. But I can tell you, every small actions can cause a good help. At least the To Kwa Wan citizen proved that to you. At least they can make a great funeral for Mr. White, even though he need to bury in the public cemetery. But at least we know we can do something for them. After I share those people who have disappeared from the society, and now I'm telling you some people who have disappeared from our family. I remember the first time I holding a little baby. It's my little sister, but she's not in here right now. I believe many of you have been holding a baby, have the experience, right? But after my younger sister gave birth, and then the second one is holding a baby who gone to heaven already in my work. I can tell you, according to the government, the health department annual report, there are like 1.6 baby will die over per 1,000 babies in every year, or at least 2023. But why today I need to talk about the children or infant or miscarriage death in Hong Kong or in the world? Since I can tell you, as the happiest moment, a new baby give birth in every family, but I can tell you, if they're going to be passed away or die, it will become a huge taboo in every kind of cultures, especially in Chinese. There's an idiom in Chinese, I say it in Cantonese, and I will explain more. 白頭人送黑頭人. The white-haired people farewell the black-haired people. And in the Western cultures, we have no parents should be bury the children, or even in Thai, Korea, or Japan. We do share the same feeling of losing the children because it's violate to natural law. It's not should be used to be like this in a natural world. But it is a good way to keep silence, or as some practice, not to tell the other people. Is that a good way for those people or those young parents who are losing their lovely children? I can totally tell you no. Grief should not be hid, even for some people, or we call it normal death. Those people losing their children in some cultures we consider as a shame. Oh, you lose a baby. Oh, why you please don't tell others. It's shame to our big family. Yeah, but I don't think it's correct. Why should we feeling shame? As we know, it is one of issues, phenomena in every death natural. That they are told to not going to be mourning and don't think about their children. And I can tell you, in every death, in every family, in every life, it's a real loss, must be a real loss. But especially the miscarriage, losing children, for every parent, especially the mothers, it's a very, very painful experience. I remember last time, or a few cases ago, I handling a little baby. I changed the clothes for the little baby. Then I pass the body to mom. He cried. He have exhausted emotions. Can you imagine a mother cry and he faint in the mortuary? And how come? Because she think he can't find somebody to talk or to share his feeling. But I can tell you, every one of us, as a friend, as a peer, we can share the feeling. And we are not going to be silent. And we should start talking or start ask everyone to sharing this kind of case by our daily life. So what can we do? After I share two cases, I have two little homework for you all. The first one is the life and death diary for everyone. I think we should start observing the death surrounding us, no matter in our hobbies group, colleagues, family, but we start observing. For example, if you are an engineer, you can start thinking about what if the worker, labor, die in the working field? What will you first consider about? Industry safety, the lack of support of the labor, and what are they facing? Losing the economic support of their family, and what should you be raised out? And then as a well-developed city, I encourage you, you can start talking on your own social media, on the radio, or make it into the newspaper. Everyone can be our city news reporter, and death should be reported and should be awareness by our daily observations. And the second one is more culturally. I know in every cultural countries, we will have our own Remembrance Day. Like in Chinese, we have Qingming. In Mexico, Indonesia, we have some Dead Soul Day. In Western culture, we have All Soul Day. But why we didn't use those festivals very well? Can we start memorize somebody in our society at the festival? Of course we can. Maybe we can memorize some celebrity, we love it. Some people meaningful to us, like our family who passed away in like few generations. Some people sacrificed in our society, like firemen, policemen, or some people we didn't notice them. And trying to make those people who are no name and named again, and start awareness. Nowadays, we are going to make trends in every social media. Why we can't make death as a new trend in our society? Of course we can, and we can immediately get the action right now. So, is the topic going to be finished? No, I can totally tell you no. It's just a start. We have thousands uncountable topics should be put on the table. The first one, ethnic minority, student suicide or teenager suicide in our city or in every city, elderly suicide, solitary death, or even facing different kind of culture death issue related. And we are the pioneer of every city, and we can raise out something which is good and healthy to our society. So, who brings me here? Of course, it's TEDx at CHK. Thank you. But of course, this is my honor. But the most important thing is those beautiful souls I have served, many hundreds. Their story may be fruitful, complete, warm, or friendly, but some of them is facing different kind of separation, loss, ununderstandable, or maybe having many anger mad inside. But their own experience and story reform me and indicate me to be a man, to a people who speaking for them because of the unseen of that in every society. And the honor should be to them. Finally, but I think it's not really finally, but finally, I want to share the Last Dance. I think some local people see the movie of Last Dance, right? But in Cantonese, we call it Po Deo. Literally meaning is breaking the hell. Today, I'm not going to promote any ritual or religious to you, but I want to take the word literally in Chinese about the Last Dance. If a society lack of understanding, lack of community, communications, or diverse equality, dignity, it's a hell, no matter to the living people or to the deaf people. But as a community members of our society, why we don't just put on a hammer and break down the hell and let everyone become equal and let everyone being seen? And I think this is the homework for our own lifetime. Finally, let me ask you the questions again after I sharing like, what is your impressions right now? And trying to share it to everyone. Finally, hope you live well and get the entry happiest life. Thank you.